Netflix left us with a lot of cliffhangers when the third season ended up being wrapped up in late July of this year. Now with production gearing up for the fourth season, news is coming around about a way to dramatically conclude Preacher and Paige's story. We got all that and more Virgin River news for season 4 right now. Firstly, we almost didn't get to this point at all. The showrunner recently spoke about how unsure they were to even get a season 4 with Netflix. News that I'm sure would puzzle Virgin River fans to hear if the show would have gotten a pass on renewal. The show is indeed coming back now though, and as a show of good faith, the showrunner has promised to answer all the questions that were left unanswered in season 3. That's got to be good news, but what specifically will we be covering? Virgin River has grown more and more complicated since it first launched a handful of years ago. After all, with plenty of long-running storylines to sort through. Is filming wrapped? Just this week, we got news that the shooting of season 4 is officially wrapped, meaning the show, barring any sort of bad luck, should be coming out in the not-so-distant future. But when? Judging from how long it took to go from post-production to release in the past, my guess would be somewhere in the first half of 2022, probably closer to January than the summer. This is just a guess, and so don't come back here calling me a liar if I'm wrong. I'm just looking from trends, that is when I would expect to see what could possibly be the final season of Virgin River. Wait, what was that about last? Look, we don't know anything yet, but judging from how surprised many of the cast and crew were to be renewed for season 4, I wouldn't expect to see season 5. Showrunner's doing her damn best to wrap up any loose ends, and that doesn't usually mean that they have gotten a vote of confidence from Netflix. This may not have to do with quality or engagement, but may just be all that the show has in its tank. We are getting quite far into the books that the show was based off of, and so it may not be a bad thing if the show ended before the source material ran out, not years and years after. Let's talk about Jack and Mel. Mel finally spilled the beans at the end of season 3. While the two were watching the sunrise and Jack was talking about meeting her for the first time, Mel just couldn't keep her secret any longer. She told Jack that she was pregnant, as well that she doesn't know that he is the father, which is less good news. We know that the two are getting married in season 4 since the showrunner outright told us that would happen if the show got picked up again, so clearly they're going to be able to sort all of this nonsense out sooner or later. Their season arc seems more focused on crawling back from past mistakes and redemption rather than a whole lot of pain and anger. But boy, was that a tough moment when she finally told him that the baby may not be his. Sure, we're all bracing to see where the show takes them, but I, for one, am overjoyed that the showrunner decided to tell us about the happy ending a little ahead of time. What about Lizzie and Ricky? Lizzie and Ricky are complicated. They're meant to kind of represent that first love kind of relationship, and maybe the writers just do a little too good of a job with it. Lizzie and Ricky are maturing, just probably not at the same rate, and that has caused some issues for them in the past. Seems unlikely that the two of them will be happy ever after, but the two are clearly learning a little about life somewhere along the way. The two are probably going to learn some tough lessons that'll help them further down the line. At least if we're going by what the showrunner thinks of them and their relationship. Lizzie and Ricky have had their fair share of ups and downs, but I wouldn't expect this season to focus on them too much, so we may not even see them break up, even if it feels like that's where the show's heading with their relationship. What's going to happen to Brady? Virgin River isn't all about finding out about what happens to the couples. We also have characters like Brady, who's in hot water with the law right now. A cop found his abandoned Jeep back in season 3, and Brady was arrested in connection to the attempted murder of Jack. The show doesn't seem like they want to keep Jack in prison for too long, and so we'll have to be getting some new info on the situation very soon. Also, it seems like this situation will force Jack to trust Brady for his word, something that isn't too easy in a tricky situation such as this. While not all of the questions surrounding this season are hard to figure out an answer to, the specifics of this one are hard to piece out. I'd be shocked to see Brady remain behind bars for more than an episode or two, but Virgin River has done a great job of keeping viewers on their toes, and so who knows really. What about Hope's hospital status? In season 3, we saw Hope admitted to a hospital with a serious brain injury after getting into a car accident. Judging from comments from the showrunner, it doesn't seem like Hope's going to be getting out of that hospital anytime soon, and she might even make a new friend out of the whole thing. Seems like Muriel and Hope are going to be lumped together at least to start the 4th season, and I, for one, am very interested to see where that will go. The relationship is not going to start out on the best terms, but Hope getting help from Muriel could soften some of the edges between the two and lead to some real connection down the line. We'll have to wait and see how things shake out, I guess. I wouldn't be too worried about Hope's condition after the injury, as it feels like the show show has bigger fish to fry in terms of drama. But boy, is it going to be a pretty awkward time when she gets tangled up in the mess Doc is dealing with. Next, Doc's bombshell. Virgin River 4th season promises to be full of surprises, and with what we've discussed so far, it's been clear that the writers will not be playing it safe. Maybe craziest of all the storylines, though, would be the bombshell dropped on Doc and us at the end of season 3, that he actually has a grandson. The revelation that takes Doc from not even being a father to being a full-blown grandfather is kind of wacky, and honestly, what I am most excited to see in the next season. Doc and Hope don't seem to have talked about any of this either, and with her condition in the hospital up in the air, I'm sure there are going to be plenty of twists and turns for this storyline. Will we see Doc properly take responsibility for what could very well be a grandson that he never raised? I would be surprised if he turned the guy away, but it is also going to be an uncharted territory for Doc, and not a path I'm sure he's thrilled to walk down. Now, let's go over a conclusion to Preacher and Paige's story. It's kind of hilarious that we're being promised a conclusion to Preacher and Paige's story when we don't even really know if Preacher's alive at all. But that's show business, baby. At the end of season 3, Preacher was poisoned by one of Paige's friends, which is a super crazy thing to do. The poisoning was done so that the friend could kidnap Christopher, but boy did it make the storyline between Preacher and Paige even more messy. But with so many balls up in the air, is it even possible to wrap up their arcs within a single season? Full speed ahead. Yes, it's possible, says the showrunner. All of her writers and basically everyone at Netflix, it looks like this could be the last dance for Virgin River, and everyone wants to make sure that they have emptied the clip before bidding farewell to a show they spent 4 or 5 years on. There will be a conclusion to Preacher and Paige's story at the end of the season, meaning all of the loose ends, all of the drama, all the questions will be gone by the time season 4 wraps. Now that's an exciting feeling. And that's it for our video today. Are there any burning questions about Virgin River that you want answered before season 4 drops? Leave a comment down below and let us know. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos just like this one, uploaded all the time. That's all from me, guys. Hope you have a good one and hope you enjoy season 4 when it finally comes out. Bye.